Hello, my name is Dave Hicks. I'm an instructor at Wayne State College. I deal with the construction management area, all the majors and minors in this field. I'm here today to talk to you about construction management, building construction here at Wayne State. Since we can't meet face to face on the career fair, we're doing it this way. So we're being safe and keeping everybody else safe. Some of the things I was asked to talk about is basically a typical day on the job, possibly for a construction manager, or sometimes mostly called project managers or PMs. And what they deal with a lot is you're dealing with a lot with scheduling. You're taking care of day-to-day operations with making sure subcontractors are there. You're checking the projects, checking with the project superintendent, communicating with them on a daily basis, checking budget, checking the schedule's the big one, and I mentioned that, to where you're trying to keep everything on schedule and making sure that there's no delays. If there are, that's things you have to deal with, because there could be some, maybe material didn't show up, maybe a subcontractor didn't show up, and then you're going to sit there and reschedule. So you're going to spend a lot of time during your day making sure everything is there when you need it, making sure the subcontractors are there, working closely again with the project superintendent, and making sure the whole project runs smoothly. You'll be dealing a lot and communicating a lot with the architects, the engineers, possibly the owners, on and off, and you're spending a lot of time on the phone, on emails, in person at the job site. And that's just part of your day-to-day operations. So every day is going to be a little bit different, but and you may have more than one project at the same time, so which complicates things a little bit. Okay, education and training needed to obtain this job. First of all, a bachelor's degree is not required, but it's recommended. I would say that most of the companies now require a bachelor's degree. Very few times where you may have started from as a laborer and then worked your way up into the area of project manager. That doesn't happen very often, but it's great to have construction experience, which is big. But as far as education, a bachelor's degree, you can all go on and get your master's degree. There are certifications that you can get as you go along through certain organizations and associations. Here at Wayne State, we offer a construction management degree, bachelor's degree. We also offer a minor in construction management. A lot of our students, and we recommend that if they're construction management majors, that they pursue a minor, and safety management goes hand in hand with construction, or they might get a minor in drafting, so drafting and design. But safety and construction go together. So we do recommend that. And you can double major also, which is even makes you more marketable for the future. Okay? Characteristics and skills needed to be successful. Well, one of the things that I stress to my students is work experience, for one thing, as far as understanding the construction industry. I would recommend you work during the summers in a construction setting, whether it's be residential or commercial. But one of the big things that you really have to be able to do is communicate, because you're talking to people every day, either communicating on the phone, through email, maybe through certain application softwares that your company has, and you're going to be talking to owners, you're going to be talking to architects, engineers, and you have to be able to communicate in a professional manner. One of the things that we see a lot of times with our students, and of course, you know, kids are kids, you cannot send emails like you would text. That's one of those things that you know, they'll understand eventually. By the time from the freshman to your senior year, you'll get that. But that's one of the big things, as far as you need to understand basic math skills, applications of math, applied math, a little bit of engineering, but you're going to get a lot of that through experience and the basics you're going to get through our institution here. Advantages and disadvantages of career of this area. For construction management, obviously the advantages that you have, and it's just more of a satisfaction once you, if you're a project manager, you get to see from the concept of the project that's just on paper, breaking ground, and then all of a sudden you have a finished product and be able to walk through and see, and that's huge satisfaction that way. You know, as far as disadvantages, it just depends on the economy, the times. Is there a lot of construction going on? And right now we're kind of in a boom. Right now it seems like it's projected for construction management or project managers to increase by at least 8% in the next few years. So that works well for us, but a disadvantage, you know, I don't know if you would want to say with the economy, if it, you know, if interest rates go up, or if materials are sky high, might be a disadvantage as far as being able to get work. The other thing might be, you know, I'm thinking once you're out there, the climate can be a disadvantage on a day-to-day basis. So in this area, we deal with a lot of cold weather. You know, if you're in Arizona, someplace like that, they deal with the hot weather. So it just depends on where you're at. But salary opportunities, or salary and opportunities for advancement. I believe, I'm just talking to a couple of our students that are graduating in December this year, actually November of this year, that they're getting job offers, and they're being offered anywhere from $50,000 to $65,000 to start, and that's usually as an assistant project manager. In about a year or two, or maybe even less, they eventually become a project manager, and I think the average pay for a project manager is somewhere around $90,000 right now. So it's very rewarding. You can advance to be not just a project manager, construction manager of a whole company, to where you're managing project managers. So that's where maybe some of the goal is that people want to get to. So there are endless opportunities to advance. Suggested classes to take in high school. For high school seniors or anybody in high school, I would definitely recommend your math classes. If you have an applied math, you need algebra, a little pre-cal, because we do get into some trigonometry and so forth. We use math all the time in construction. You have to know from the basics of how to read a tape measure and all the way up to being able to figure a pitch or a slope, are some of the simple things. But how to estimate, you know, how to figure square footage, area, volume, you need all of that. So, and we apply it. So once you have it, you're actually putting it towards an application, which makes it, I think, a little easier to learn, and you're going to use it all the time. Let's see, we have and other things in high school, with your composition classes, English classes, being able to communicate, take some business classes, understanding basic business, accounting, a little bit of estimating. If you have an industrial tech program and you have a drafting program, get into the drafting area so you understand blueprint reading, which helps a lot. So there's many areas. A lot of it is just life skills that get you started. Being able to communicate, good personality, good character, and once you get onto that job site, your first job as an employee, they'll train you the way they want you to be, because every company does it a little bit different. So we'll give you the basics and try to get you prepared here at Wayne State. But at high school, you're gonna need some of those basic courses. Okay. Volunteer activities to prepare yourself. You know, I always suggest students, if there's any type of volunteer work that you can do, it's great to put on your resume. If you have a Habitat for Humanity You actually get to volunteer in the construction area, in the industry. Anytime you can get a job that works in construction, or if you can just do some volunteer work, I think it builds your character. Plus, like I said, you can put that on a resume, and it always looks good. It shows that employer that you're committed and you want to go the extra mile to do things, and not necessarily have to be compensated for everything that you do. So to me, that tells me that, yeah, if you're a volunteer, that goes a long way. Special advice for those interested in your career? Well, you know, I was thinking about that a little bit as far as any special advice, and I think one of the things that you have to enjoy the outdoors. You have to enjoy being inside at the same time. So I mean, you might spend some time in an office for a while, but you get a chance to go outside also. If you are thinking that you want to just stay behind a desk the whole time, this probably isn't for you. If you like a little bit of a combination, it's perfect. If you like to work with your hands, if you're good with computer applications, picking up new softwares, trying new things, it's a great opportunity, and I mean, it's very, very rewarding. And that's one of the things that you have to commit to what you want to do. And some people aren't committed yet, but once they get out there, they realize, yeah, this is what we do, and this is what I want to do, and I plan on doing this for a long time. So we've been hearing back from some of our graduates, and they're just having a blast out there. They're a little nervous to start with, but as an instructor, I get rewarded when I hear back from our students that have graduated and gone out and are successful. So that's rewarding for me. But as far as for those in construction management, you just kind of have to know at that point and give it a try, and you're going to stay somewhere in this area, because you could get into a lot of different specialty areas with construction management. Could be in the medical facilities, it could be in athletic facilities or education, and there's different types of buildings that people specialize in. So that's the advice I could give, is to explore your interest and then go from there. Okay, we're in our construction lab. We just have a little area here that we work on, and we have, with our beginning construction classes, we like to have the students know a little bit about the basics of construction. That gives them a chance to improve their skills with power tools and so forth. And that's just, we're at the very, very beginning level of that. And we have what we call learning modules over here, where we use this for a couple different classes, through an architectural finishes class and our beginning construction with residential wiring. We'll come in and do some things in here where we can, in our architectural finishes, they have to basically sheetrock it, tape it, finish it, paint it, decorate it, accessorize it, and we work closely with interior design personnel, where they come over too, and we combine our construction and the interior design people together. So it's a great combination that way, and that's just one of the classes that we do. Some of our managers and workers actually built this area, so they get a chance to actually manage a crew. Our managers do in their capstone course, and then be able to estimate, figure out all the materials, so they're going to estimate everything, and then give us a schedule and a timeline on how long it's going to take. Also in our beginning construction classes, we have a couple of storage sheds that we put together that Foundation has agreed to help us out in selling those and market them and so forth, so they'll be ready by the end of this semester. A couple of things I want to mention just from this beginning and then until we end, and then with our students, when they go out and do an internship, and then eventually maybe they'll get hired by a company, and then if that company does reputable work, they're going to be asked to come back. For example, in our Center for Applied Technology, we had Houseman Construction that did this project. They happened to get the bid that they're remodeling Benthak Hall right now, and our administration requested to have, with Houseman, to have the project manager and the project superintendent back on that project, since they did such a great job here and they all work together. So once you get that established and you're out into the real world and you do a good job, that's where it's rewarding also, that you're asked back to a project that maybe the same company is actually asking you to do some projects for them. I also want to mention too, construction management is not our only area in this at Wayne State in the applied science area. We have other areas that you can enhance your education on. We have safety management. We have a major and a minor in that. We have manufacturing, which is a major and minor. We have drafting and design. We have teacher education, skilled and technical sciences. So we produce a lot of educators, and we actually have students that are in education that get a construction management minor, just in case things don't work out that way. So, but we're hoping everybody works out for that, what they're here for. So we have a great building, a new facility. The Center for Applied Technology is a great place to be. We're just glad that we're still face to face, and we have great administration, great leadership. So if anybody's interested, look us up on the website. You'll find all the faculty's names on our website for the business and technology area, and we're in the task, technology of applied science. And inquire, give us a call. You'll find out for our information that if anything that you have, just send us an email, give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions and try to get you on campus to come visit. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ethan Fitzler, and I'm a construction management major at Wayne State College, and I'm a senior that will be graduating in May next year, so May 2021. And I did an internship with Boyd Jones this past summer, and I worked out at in Brainerd, Nebraska at East Butler High School, where they're putting up a kitchen and commons area addition to the school. So we kind of did a little bit of new construction and old, kind of tying back into the old building. So what I kind of learned was I went in and was looking at RFIs and kind of more of the underground side of the construction going on, because we had to deal with old utilities that were in the ground. And basically what I learned from this past summer was you gotta kind of look at everything as a whole and make sure that you're doing the right thing. So yeah, and the way I chose Boyd Jones Construction was I kind of looked at what I wanted to be a part of, and I ended up going to the career fair and talking with them, and pretty much the next day they ended up coming back and phone calling me and interviewing me in the next week, and ended up offering me a job as an intern this past summer.
What are your plans then once you graduate?
So Boyd Jones ended up offering me a project engineer position after I graduate from this past internship that I did.
Do you have a minor or major?
Yep, so my major is construction management and my minors are business administration and Spanish.
Okay, great.
Do you have any recommendations for high school students?
Just kind of, I've been in college for 5 years, so I've changed my majors 2 or 3 times. So just kind of looking around and seeing what you're interested in, and don't be afraid to try new things and get out and talk to companies that you want to work for, and they'll, if you don't know very much about construction, and you are willing to work, they will be willing to teach you new things. So